Mike. Obviously, huge series, huge game tonight. You guys have been through this for years, but it's obviously very different because of the bubble and the whole situation. How would you describe the build-up for this game from your perspective, the team's perspective, compared to how things normally would be? How different is it?
Well, I mean, the obvious is just everything's different, but there's a lot of positives. We didn't get on the plane after, winning against OKC and then getting into LA late or practically getting, the night before the game and stuff. So a lot of players just go back to the hotel, come and play every other day and, who's next. So the guys are as rested as they can be. And then it's a little bit of a strange, and, playoffs, you expect all the buzz and hype when you walk in the building, but isn't there. But our players generate that. It's still, once the ball goes up, I think it's about the same. It's unbelievable competition, but just the surroundings it's just different.
Jonathan Fagan.
Hi, Mike. I think off of Game 7 and playing against a team that's had some off days, does it impact minutes in any way or rotation in any way?
No, not really. We didn't have anybody that went extra minutes, so it's like every other game. Now, having said that, we'll probably, I think Ben will play some and Austin, and, we could go one deeper. And as figure out what's working, what's not working, what's good matchups and stuff of that sort. So, tonight you expect it just to be a little bit more. But, the main guys are going to log most of the minutes.
Thank you.
Pat Boone.
Sorry, I'm on Zoom while I'm
doing this. He's struggling over here.
Mike, Mike Malone had a pretty fiery address about families and not allowing them here.
Right.
Do you relate to that? I mean, do you feel that your family should be allowed here as coaches?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, if you're, introducing new elements into the bubble, then players, coaches, trainers, everybody should have the same opportunity. It's hard to distinguish between, the players' families become coaches and people can't. But I do understand on the other side, I understand what the NBA is doing. And tough situation. Some people are more impacted than others, obviously. So it's just tough all the way around. But I do feel what Mike says is correct.
Does that feel a little more this is one of the first games that players can bring family members to?
I don't think it hits anymore. I don't know. It doesn't, not that it hit anymore. It's just, I understand it's just tough. It's tough to make that decision. It's tough. And they want to keep it as tight as possible so that, now I'll be willing to sacrifice the journalists for my family. So we should talk to them about it. Yeah, we could take 2 or 3 of you guys. No, that's good. But it's hard. Those are hard decisions. And I understand both sides, and I understand where Mike's coming from.
Mark Medina.
I'll take one for the team.
There's one more sacrifice.
You had some of your good jokes the other day, right?
Unfortunately, when you win, it's a little bit easier.
Right. You were saying, hey, there's one less team at the Grand Florida. Have you felt enough of a significant difference?
Sure, we don't see anybody. No, it's kind of, I wouldn't say as long as just it's a big resort with about, we got a party of about 57 people. So, it is a big difference.
What's the interactions been like of running into teams or coaches, players, or
no, our mail rooms are right across the hall. Ours was in Orlando, and Steve Clifford was my assistant in LA, and just sitting down and talking with him in the mornings. And you see, then you've got just different teams. You see different people, and see different coaches, see different players that you might have coached. And it was great. Actually, I enjoyed it. But then they just started leaving, and now it's just us. So I actually got to talk to my guys. So.
Dan Wokey.
Mike, on behalf of journalists everywhere, I say, how dare you?
Are you in there or are you in here?
I am in quarantine right now to be in there, so I'll tell you.
I just feel sorry for you.
You saw obviously what happened last night. Denver was in a similar situation where they played a very emotional 7-game series and looked just wiped out in that game. Was there anything that you did differently in the last 24 hours to try to get your team to have some sort of emotional reset? Is that even possible?
I don't think that's possible. I think it's going to affect probably it's going to affect the younger team more than the veteran team. And we do have some old guys that have been through this, so I do think that. And now I said that without knowing what's going to happen in the future, so you never know. And I feel for Denver that they went through. That's tough. I mean, what they went through, and don't reset and don't come back and make it a series. But just try to do the best you can and try to hope the guys mentally can get ready. And I think they will be.
Brian Mahoney.
Yes.
I think it was Eric Gordon who was saying, you guys have had a championship caliber team for a bunch of years in a row now. You just kind of kept losing to the same team very frequently. Is there something good about not having to, even though they're not slouches, some of these other teams are going to play, but there's a mentality, at least we don't have to go through that group anymore. They know us too well, we knew them, and so on and so forth.
I don't think we thought of the Golden State since we've been here, so I can't tell you. It's each player, but for me, no. I mean, these teams are great. And whoever we meet is going to be a really good team, and we're just glad we escaped OKC. It was a great team, a good series, and now we're up against arguably the best record in the league, or one of the second best probably. But I mean, they're good. Clippers good. There's a lot of people good. Everybody. Utah is great. I mean, there's a lot of great teams.
Jonathan Fagan.
Before the game the other day, you were talking about the difficulty for Russ to come back from an injury in the middle of a playoff series. For him, but guys all over the league that are still playing and coming back, is it harder to do under these circumstances? Even though it's playoffs, it's not like you played 82 games and went into the playoffs. They were off for 4.5 months, more in his case. Is it tougher in this situation?
Again, individually, every case is different. Speaking of Russell, I mean, his was 4.5 or 4 months off, 4.5 months off, and then getting here late. So he missed a lot of the preparation for the games, and then missing the last 4 games, I think, or something like that, and then coming right in the middle of a playoff. So, yeah, I don't know how hard. And then him being like the focus of the offense most of the time handling the ball. I don't know if anybody can have a harder role or road than he did. So, I thought he handled great. Did not play great the second game out, but then the last game he's getting his legs. You can see it, and I expect every game he's just getting better.
Could that be something similar said of Eric and his shot, where he missed all the seeding game, 6 of the seeding games, and then took a while to shoot well?
Yeah, and again, players are a different beast, and the pressure, plus you're not quite ready, that's can spell disaster. But these guys you got to go through it, and they're mentally tough, and kept encouraging him, and Eric got a great game, obviously in the 7th game, and put us over the top. So they just got to keep plugging, and everybody will have a different situation, but we just try to encourage our guys to just be confident, go out and do the best you can. That's all you can ask.
Thank you.
Damon Ali.
Hey, Mike. Pete yesterday that he expects to guard Anthony Davis. I know you guys switch everything, but does that mean Robert will get the LeBron assignment?
No. You want to guess somebody else? I mean, I don't know if I'm going away, but Eric will be going.
And last one, Brandon Scott.
Kind of along the same lines, Coach. Just when you face a team, when you go from OKC that's guard heavy to a bigger team and the Lakers, do you guys consider maybe not switching everything, or are you just going to kind of stick with what you do?
We stick with what we do. That's what we do. We think that's the best way to play the team, and the players are really into it. They like it. And again, I've said 1,000 times, we're a team. Eric can guard post-ups as well as anybody in the league. I don't care who's posting that out. They will shoot over some, and they will rebound over some. We got a gang rebounding. There are some weak points of that. But if we do our job and do it well, we can minimize those weak spots and hopefully maximize what works and create turnovers and get out in transition.